back to the comics family. Come and join us as we do our final recording of 2023. We're going to do a little roundup of some of our favourite moments in comic books from this year and a little bit of what we're looking forward to for 2024.
So, by the time this is edited and released, it will be 2024. So, Happy New Year to all of you out there. But why not grab yourself a coffee, maybe a drink from New Year's, ready up some snacks, and join us as we look at our review from 2023.
So, we, having gone through trying to think of like some of our best books, some of our best purchases, things like that from this year, I've realised just how much we have bought. And it's really hard to pick some of my favourites.
We have bought a lot.
We have. I didn't realise just how much there was until we were searching through it, trying to find things. And I was like, oh, I could do that. Or that. But yeah, there are quite a few things.
Same. I was very on the fence with a few of my books. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, what do you want to start off with?
Well, as it's right in front of us, we will kick off with our favourite event from the year. And what's going to shock most of you is it's not Marvel.
No, for you, it is quite shocking that it's not a Marvel event. And
the Marvel event this year was the Hellfire Gala, Fall of X. And
I feel like from a cover perspective, that would be my event of the year, because obviously I did have to get all of the Hellfire Galas, and I loved those variant covers.
I know,
they
but
amazing. I didn't actually read the storyline.
Yeah, I looked at the storyline via the previews, and it didn't really pique my interest. Whereas when we read about Night Terrors, it did.
Yes, so our event for both of us this year is Night Terrors from DC.
So much so that we have all the Titans as well.
Yes, we literally had every Night Terrors book. Because at least for most of the titles, there was only 2.
Yes, because one of us is really anal and had to have all of the books.
Even though it meant that you broke your one comic book rule and you now own Superman. The one character that you always said you were never going to have a book of because you hate him. Your need to complete Night Terrors overruled your hatred of Superman.
I'm very weak, have you noticed? I'm easily swayed.
But yes, so that was our...
In my defence, I classed that they're part of her collection, not mine. I might have paid for them, but they're going to your collection.
Oh, okay. Well, just because I don't hate Superman. So...
Fake advertising, Nash.
Next, shall we do our... Well, whilst we're on the DC, why don't you do your DC Book of the Year? Because...
Okay, so my DC Book of the Year is not Night Terrors, but this is not the first cover. This is the second cover, but it's from the series of Gargoyle of Gotham. I'm not going to take it out, just because it's already shiny enough.
It's so shiny.
Gargoyle of Gotham.
That is a nice cover as well.
Based around the Robert Pattinson current Batman. Or I get the vibe from the current Robert Pattinson Batman. But yeah, the first book was really interesting. I haven't got around to reading the second one yet.
That's why he had it easily accessible.
Thank you.
We've done a lot of digging around in the room to try and find some of these books.
We have. Yeah, but as for my DC series, I like get a lot of most people know.
Yeah, see, that's why I think we needed to make a point of you, like, what is your favourite DC book? Because you don't.
And it's on Batman as well, which is in.
Yeah.
But there's no Robins in that book, so there was no child endangerment. It's fine.
Okay.
But let's go over to your DC Book of the Year.
I'm not sure about my DC Book of the Year, if I'm entirely honest, because the series that I've been reading had started, like, probably my 2 favourite series didn't start this year. So I figure they probably don't count.
Then they don't count. Would it maybe be one of the Night Terrors? The Joker?
Oh, that was good. The Joker Night Terrors was really good.
Poison Ivy?
I did really enjoy the Ivy. So I kind of feel like Poison Ivy might possibly be, but I think she didn't start this run didn't start this year.
You can't have it.
I'm trying to think. Wonder Woman, I haven't really read enough of. Same with Birds of Prey. So I keep buying them, and then I haven't had a chance to read them. So yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, maybe the Poison Ivy Night Terrors. That was really, really good.
Right. Well, clearly she doesn't have that book. So
No.
I'm going to make it appear here for you at some point.
Yeah.
So that you do see it. So, do you want to go kick off with your one shot of the year?
My one shot of the year, yeah. So my one shot was Marvel's Women of Power. I did really enjoy that. I think they do sort of one a year.
They do one a year.
But I did really enjoy this. Obviously, you get quite a few different stories. And it had some nice variant covers. I realised as I was going through finding it, I have 3. I have 3 copies of the same book.
Are they all from the same year?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. No, you they probably are.
Yeah. But 3 copies, all because they're awesome covers. But yeah, I just really enjoyed having like multiple covers. And there was a really good America Chavez related story in it. And I was like, ooh, that's intrigued me about her. So now I've gone and got an America Chavez set to read that I haven't got around to, obviously. But yeah, that sort of triggered a little something.
Obviously.
So, what's your one shot of the year?
My one shot of the year, and again, it's not Marvel. It's from Boom Studios. It's another shiny. I apologise if you can't see it well. But this cover was too nice to resist as well. And it is Keanu Reeves, Berserker, Fallen Empire.
That is a really... even the like on screen, it doesn't do that cover justice. That is a nice cover.
It is a very nice cover.
The shininess of the cover.
For one shots as they go, the previous one, Poetry of Madness, was very good. But this one was just a great story.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely worth a read to anyone who wants to go out and buy it. You cannot have my copy, so don't even think about it.
Yeah. Then we have our limited series.
So mini-series.
Yes.
Like maybe 5-issue run.
Favourite mini-series?
I feel like a traitor tonight. Because it's still not Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as I've said it, again, this is the one that the minute it was out, I had to go and get it and I had to read it. So I don't know how many of you follow the Mark Miller books. I didn't really follow them until I read Nemesis earlier this year, which was a purchase from Cursed Earth.
Yeah.
Was it Cursed Earth?
It was Cursed Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
And I seen this one, I thought, well, Nemesis is in it, so I'm going to read it. And it had blown my mind. It was such a good read. And that is Big Game. Definitely worth a read. I'm so sorry about the shine.
This is the downside to having the nice bags.
Like I've polished a bald man's head. But yeah, definitely worth a read. I mean, you can probably still pick up all 5 parts cheap. But it's a great way for Mark Miller to bring his world together.
My limited series is also not Marvel. Although I then suddenly thought, I really enjoyed the Photon series. That was a 5-parter that I really, really enjoyed. But my one is Barnstormers, which was a random purchase just because I saw the cover art on Keys of the Week, I think, and I was like, that looks really nice. And I read it. It's literally a 3-part series. They're quite chunky books as well.
Yeah.
This is the first one. Yeah. So it's Tula Lotte art, and I've decided I really, really like her art. It is beautiful. It's just a really nice story. It's a really, it's set in sort of 1920s America. It's just a really lovely story. It's really beautiful art. It has like a really nice ending. I feel like it's quite a female-friendly book. It's definitely something I can see them turning into a film.
Have you got a bit more to go on?
Well, I don't want to give away too much. So Barnstormers were sort of in the early days of aviation, post World War One, pilots they were like trick pilots, effectively, like
Stunt pilots.
Stunt pilots, yeah. And they'd fly from town to town and do stunts and have people give them money for just doing stunts, taking them up in the plane, whatever. And the guy in it, accidentally crashes his plane. He thinks that they're all there to like watch him, and turns out it's a wedding. And the bride doesn't want to go through with the wedding and runs away with him. So, yeah.
Naughty.
She was being forced to marry a nasty, nasty man.
So she says, I'm not going to give too much away.
So,
and then give the whole thing away.
No, and but the storyline, that literally happens in the first couple of pages. And then the storyline is them, what happens with them after they've run away.
Okay.
And the other guy trying to find them. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I got a little bit emotional at the end.
You get a little bit emotional with a lot of things.
Yes, I do.
So.
And the art is just so beautiful. So pretty.
Do you want to go with your cover of the year?
Yes, talking of pretty things.
Excuse me.
Bless you. So, sticking with pretty things, again, not Marvel. It is a DC book. It was my gateway to DC. So, this was a cover purchase.
I blame you, Lizzie.
I bought this because I fell in love with the cover art, hence it is my cover of the year. Not by one of my favourite artists, surprisingly.
This is the Josh guy, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
But I fell in love with the cover. Then I thought, I might as well read it. And it kind of opened my doorway to the entirety of DC.
Oh, here's the key. Lock that fucker up.
Yeah. And it is Poison Ivy number 11. It's a variant cover. I literally just thought that is so beautiful. You could have that hanging on your wall. You could, if you got rid of like those bits, you could almost imagine it being in like the National Gallery. Because you wouldn't know that was Poison Ivy if it wasn't
it's just
Poison
a
Ivy
woman
cover.
in a swamp.
Covered in flowers. But yeah, having read this one, I then obviously wanted to read more about Poison Ivy, and that led me on to Harley, and that led me on to so many other books. So not only is that really beautiful art, but it was kind of my gateway to DC.
So gateway to DC drug. And now she's hooked, and I'm going to have to get her into therapy.
Yeah. I just like a lot of their women. Like, they have some really good women.
Lizzie.
Not necessarily heroes. They're kind of more anti-hero, reformed villains.
Which is fitting, because, as you say, anti-hero, my cover of the year is very much an anti-hero. Not just an anti-hero. A child with way too much power, and that is Red Goblin number 6 by Bjorn Barons. Because
he's
fucking nice is that cover. Excuse my French.
Is he like your artist?
He's definitely my
your newly discovered
artist, yes.
Yeah. I have too many newly discovered artists because obviously I've only really been discovering artists in the last couple of years. So I have far too many
I
new
put it down,
artists.
but it's too nice. People will
that is a really
obviously
lovely
disagree
cover.
with me. I mean, the webcam's not going to give it justice, but...
No. And to be fair, I do understand your love of the Bjorn Barons art because having seen his Ghost Rider covers, they are lovely as well.
If you go on about me getting that one random variant, I'm going to strangle you.
But that's because it was the one random variant that he did the B cover, not the A cover. I just feel like they did something, they just put them around the wrong way, and that should have been the A cover. So yeah. And then we were just going to round it out with our overall favourite purchase this year. because otherwise there's just too many series. There's too many like amazing things that we have got this year. So we've had to narrow it down and just kind of be like, right, what is our one favourite purchase this year?
What's the one book that you've been
most excited
slapped in the face and moment?
So
Not grabbed by the...
No, none of that anymore. So, don't even talk about that anymore. Mine,
to me, is quite a funny story because I didn't go to my local comic shop, which is New Dawn, as obviously people know.
Yeah.
I had started collecting the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees books, and the only place in our area that does it is Cursed Earth. So I messaged him, asked him to reserve one. He did very kindly. Thank you very much. Paul did it.
I think it's Paul.
Thank you, Paul. You're amazing. Not small Paul from the quiz. And it was, I walked in, the book was sitting there, but you know, something just catches your eye. You think, oh, and I turn around, and it was just sat in a corner, not in a case or anything, or on a wall, just on a little stand. And it was just, and the price was amazing, and then even knocked money off, which is even better. So again, thank you, Paul. And it's one of those books that I've never seen in the wild. I'm always on a hunt for it, and the condition it's in, I have given it a little clean up. It is a very nice book, and after I bought it, the trailer for the film came out. So here it is. It is Amazing Spider-Man 210, the first appearance of Madam Web. What's her age?
Julia Carpenter.
Wrong one.
No? I swear that's the one you said was.
She's the current Madam Web.
Oh. Well, there we go then. That's the answer you gave.
That is my
purchase
of the year. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it because she's sitting next to me and I don't want to bruise my arm. No, I didn't pay that much. I really didn't.
Remember you saying that you got like a really good deal on it, so.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Yeah, and that will probably should have done it the other way because that would lead nicely into us sort of talking about what we're excited for from the films for next year. But we will put that on hold, put a pin in that for a minute, and just go back to my purchase of the year. And it is by one of my favourite artists. It is one of my favourite characters. And
one of?
Jay,
who's your favourite character?
She's. I don't think I have a favourite anymore, but this is the thing. I'm like.
No, you've worked with my world.
Yeah, I don't have one specific favourite. Yeah, but she is way up there. And it was also my first ever, like my one and only CGC submission. So
it still is.
Yes, it still is. Because it was the most nerve-wracking process. And I don't think Jamie could handle me submitting another
every week.
Every week I'm like, is she back yet? Is she back yet? Is she back yet?
It was more, have you got any information? And he's like, I haven't posted it yet. Why? Because there.
So it is Scarlet Witch #1, the David Nakayama variant. It was quite hard. I just saw it and fell in love with that cover.
It was quite hard to get.
Yes, it was quite hard to get, and I massively appreciate the fact that you tracked it down for me, and the fact that you came back as a 9.8.
Yeah, mine didn't.
I was really happy.
I didn't get a 9.8.
So
I never get a 9.8. I still can't believe that Miles didn't come back to the 9.8.
But yeah, that was my like ultimate purchase this year. I just think it's such a lovely, it's beautiful cover art, and yeah, I just got so excited about it. So, and obviously she wasn't a CGC at the time we got her, so yeah, that is kind of our little our comic book favourites for 2023.
I believe that is the reason I started looking on Whatnot to see if anyone had some of the covers that we couldn't get.
Yeah.
Obviously they did.
Yes, that was like possibly your favourite.
Thank you.
Like your first Whatnot purchase, wasn't it?
One of them. If it wasn't the first, it was very close to it.
Yeah.
But that is our books of the year. So, what would you say has been your favourite film this year? Comic related, obviously.
I'm trying to think. So, what have we had this year? We've had
Ant-Man and
Ant-Man
Wasp:
Quantumania.
Quantumania. You weren't a fan of that.
I wasn't, because I hate the fact that I don't love it. Because there's nothing wrong with it. There is no reason I shouldn't love it. I love Paul Rudd. I just don't love the Ant-Man films. And I don't know why I don't love them. I just don't. I don't dislike them. I just don't love them. So we've had that. We had Guardians 3. That was emotional.
Because of the art. Okay.
Yes.
Lila, go bye-bye.
I got very, very... That was the point at which I cried. I'm amazed I lasted that long. I think that was slightly ruined for us because we didn't get a chance to see it for a long while.
Everyone hyped that film up so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not as amazing.
I think if we'd seen it in the first week, we'd have probably loved it more than we did. But because it was like 6 weeks after it came out or something that we finally got to see it.
Bastard kids.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it came out similar. It wasn't that long before Little Man's birthday, I think, which is partly why we were like, well,
we definitely seen it afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. I nearly cried at the beginning of that, and I was like, no, hold it together, because everyone told me like it's really emotional, it's really like, and it was a really good film. I just think it was overhyped by the time we got to see it, which ruined it a little bit for me.
We've had obviously various MCU series out this year. I can't remember if Peacemaker was out this year. If it was out this year, then it's definitely in my top 3. Someone let me know if it was out this year or last year. I'm pretty sure it was the start of this year. I watched it this year, so that might be right.
What else? We've had Miss Marvel.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion was good.
It was a better way of introducing the Skrulls rather than being runaway refugees. It's like they do have their own fight. They are a formidable foe.
Yes. It was an enjoyable series. It did knock me off my feet.
No, I enjoyed it. Again, I didn't. I wasn't. No, I'm not going to say it because you're punch me.
What?
Excited.
Yeah, it was one of those things of I enjoyed watching it, but it wasn't oh my god, I can't wait till next week. Come on, hurry up.
It's a bit Miss Marvel. I enjoyed Miss Marvel. I know a lot of people didn't, but it was a good way of introducing her character.
Yes. I think it was very well cast. I like Iman Vellani as Kamala. I enjoyed it.
Obviously, they redid Wealth by Night in Colour this year. I have not watched it. We are currently watching the What Ifs. I'm enjoying this year's What Ifs.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying this year's one. I think my favourite one of the What Ifs was the Christmas one.
What, Happy Hogan?
Yes.
Yeah, but we haven't finished them.
Partly because it had Darcy in it, and I just love Darcy. Again, on my up there characters, she's not even a comic book character, but she is now because she's in the Scarlet Witch series.
Was Doctor Strange out this year? Multiverse of Madness?
I want to say that was last year.
It probably.
Pretty sure that was last year.
I don't know.
Like November, December last year.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we had Loki. That was good.
That was brilliant, and I'm going to say that was probably my pick of the year.
From the
entertainment side, definitely the MCU. I want to see the Blue Beetle film because I like the Blue Beetle character, the Jamie Reyes one. I should have put that in the quiz yesterday. And I know it got slated, but I'm always of the opinion of I don't care what everyone else says. I'll see it myself and I'll go from there.
I want to see Aquaman. I haven't seen the first Aquaman, but I've seen trailers for the second one, and I kind of want to watch those as well. Partly just to gratuitously ogle Jason Momoa. You get to see him wet and topless a lot, from what I can gather from the trailers. So.
I mean, I'll whip my top off now for a pint of water over maybe get you going.
No. Maybe when we're not on screen.
What? I'm going to give the people what they really don't want.
As much as I love you, you're not Jason Momoa.
No, that is not my name. Do I need to give you my ID? I'm going to give you an address.
P. Sherman, Vardy 2, Wildby Way, Sydney.
So yeah, for me it was Loki. For you?
For me, I think it's probably like the one MCU film we haven't talked about yet, and that was The Marvels. I know lots of people didn't like it. I loved it. I feel like I am probably their target audience. Slightly nerdy, female. You know, I probably was the kind of target audience they were thinking when they made that film, but I loved it. And I came out of it and I was just so happy. Like, I came out of Quantumania and I was like, it's all right. I came out of Guardians drained, like just emotionally drained, because it was a good film, but it was, there was a bit too much heartbreak.
Yeah.
And for someone who does get very emotional over things, I am the woman that cried in the opening credits of Infinity War. I was 8 months pregnant.
I was the only person that didn't cry at the end.
It may have had something to do with baby hormones, but I was in tears before the opening credits.
The whole cinema was crying at the end of that film.
Who doesn't? Like, you're dead inside.
I knew it was
There's
coming.
something wrong with you.
It was obvious.
I know, but that doesn't mean it's not sad. I know the fucking end of Titanic. That doesn't mean I don't cry every time I watch it.
That's why I don't watch it. But I knew they'd come back, so.
Yeah, but, Guardians, I came out of it feeling quite emotionally broken. I came out of the Marvels just so happy. They're singing and dancing and girl power and cats. Oh. And I'm like, what's not to love? So, yeah, I think that is probably my...
Well, I think they've guaranteed that they're sure one for the year with that response.
Yeah, it just made me happy.
So, I think the only thing coming out next year is Deadpool. Other than a few Madam Web.
I was going to say, you've got some Sonyverse.
I don't really class them because they don't really...
They're still Marvel characters.
The Marvel characters, but they're done in a weird Sony make their own bullshit up. Deadpool 3, who's not excited for Deadpool 3?
Yes,
if you're not excited for Deadpool 3, then why are you watching this?
Yeah, I'm very excited for Deadpool 3. I've enjoyed the first two. So yeah. I am very excited.
And Hugh Jackman's in it, and she loves Hugh Jackman, so...
Again, singing and dancing and happiness.
I guarantee there's a musical number in Deadpool.
Just because Ryan Reynolds is going to want to make Hugh Jackman sing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there any TV series coming out next year? Because obviously Daredevil Born Again was due to come out next year, but I think that's had to be pushed back because of the writers' strikes.
I think most of them have been pushed back.
And
Echo is out soon.
Ooh, that I'm looking forward to.
I am looking forward to Echo.
I did enjoy her in Hawkeye was last year, wasn't it?
Hawkeye was last year.
Because they did the whole Christmas thing, didn't they?
Yes.
So Hawkeye was last year. But I enjoyed her in that, so I'm quite looking forward to that. And I really enjoyed the Daredevil and Echo miniseries. That was definitely up there as a potential for miniseries of the year. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Echo. I'm really looking forward to Daredevil Born Again when it does eventually come out. And Agatha, I was really looking forward to, but I think that's been pushed back as well.
Yeah, I think there's a few been pushed back, and I need to have more of a deep dive into what's going on, because there's a few that I was expecting to come out, and then I'm like, 2025, 2026, what's going on? But again, it's because of the writer's strike. The DC future, I am kind of excited about purely because it's James Gunn. So
yes.
It's good to see where that goes.
I really enjoyed James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So I am kind of intrigued to see what he does with the DCU as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
That could be interesting.
Another movie that I know is in the works, it's obviously got held back again by the writer's strike, is one that, if anyone watched the quiz, there was a round coming up where a certain person was the only one in the room who knew the answer and then gave it away.
And it wasn't me!
It wasn't her. He was so excited that he gave it away.
He didn't actually say what the answer was, but his
excitement
made I was like, oh! The penny dropped for me.
Please watch that because it's hilarious.
Yes, you see the moment.
And if you are watching it now yourself, you're a tit. You are a tit.
Not that that point made any difference.
So yeah, the film I'm talking about is, of course, the Spawn movie by Todd McFarlane. And I know Todd McFarlane's taken a massive interest in how the film's done himself.
I was going to say, because he's very
scripted
protective of Spawn, isn't he?
Well, that's his
Spawn's
baby.
baby.
I think he's done the script himself. He's part of the casting, the producing, a lot. So it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Excited
like the creator of the character.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but
that heavily involved.
Look at the overall. I mean, what new books we've got coming out this year that we know of?
Yeah, I've got Marvel Meow coming out. I'm assuming that's probably a one shot. That's next week, and I'm really excited.
Is that next week?
I think it's next week, yeah. That means I'll be at work and you have to go and buy it for me.
Oh!
If Jamie has it in, you are buying it for me.
This week, you mean?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like this Wednesday it comes out.
Great.
Fantastic. I'm sorry that their delivery is a day late because of the stupid bank holiday.
No, it's alright. I forgot about that bloody book.
What else have we got that I'm excited about? I'm excited about Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yes, that does look interesting, I'll be honest.
Not Scarlet Widow and her brother, as your friends referred to them as.
Again, if you want to see
what we're talking about and you haven't already, check out our Comics Family Big Fat Quiz of the Year.
Check out how ridiculous Big Dick Energy is.
Yes. Yeah, so he made a quiz up and it's us and 3 of our friends, him quizzing our Marvel knowledge.
Not just Marvel.
No, like a comic book. Comic book and film
stuff in there.
Yeah, knowledge. It was really fun. There was a lot of wine. But yes, so we're releasing. So round 1 is already out. That came out this morning. And then round 2
will probably be released on Tuesday.
We're hoping. So the 2nd of January. Yeah, there's 5 rounds in total. So that will all be released over the next, week or so.
Week and a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. There is also Black Widow and Hawkeye coming out. There is Black Cat and Jackpot, or Jackpot and Black Cat. I think it's Jackpot and Black Cat.
Oh, okay.
And that's the way around they've done it.
You obviously got the new Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, that was another contender for my series, but it wasn't quite. It was fun. It didn't grab me the same way Barnstormers did. IDW's Saturday Morning Adventures Dungeons and Dragons. There's a new one of those. You've got the Moon Knight. Yeah.
Who is the new Moon Knight?
Wednesday. You've got a new Ghost Rider coming out.
Ghost Rider coming out, so I'm excited for that, yes.
Yeah, I think
I haven't really dived into what's.
Yeah, I had a peek at up as far as the end of March, and I think obviously we've got quite a few ongoing series that are carrying on.
Obviously.
I think there's a Suicide Squad one coming out that I'm a little bit on the fence about. I'll have to read a bit more about it the closer we get, because I think that's not till March or something.
So was that not in the previews?
Yeah.
It wasn't the previews.
But I think we're up to the March previews now.
You just said it's out in March?
Yeah, I said I think it's March.
Oh, okay. So, I haven't read the DC previews.
Yeah, that I think was the only thing that I got even slightly excited about, because everything else that was in the DC previews is just ongoing things that I'm already getting.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 in the Marvel previews, which I think we spoke about. It was just Avengers and Moon Knight and Ghost Rider. Who is the new Ghost Rider and who is the new Moon Knight?
Yeah.
For me, it's just sorry, it's new. Who is it? Is it me?
No. Yeah.
I could be a flaming skull.
You could. I don't really want you to be.
Yeah.
That might burn down my bedding. I like my bedding. Please don't say that to it.
Oh, you are.
Our bedroom is far too chaotic for you to have a flaming head. You would literally burn down the house.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that.
Yeah. Obviously, Harley's still going. The Poison Ivy covers coming up look amazing. I'm very excited for those. We've got Giant Size Spider-Gwen.
You
There's
do,
a Giant
yeah.
Size Spider-Gwen coming up.
There's the Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man one-shot coming out.
Yes. Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's quite a few things that we're looking forward to book-wise. Sadly, not so much that is coming out film and series.
No.
MCU-wise, which is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out. There's a lot to look forward to. So
yes, I'm looking forward to 2024.
Yeah.
2023 has been a bit Having gone back on like my Facebook memories, and obviously there's always the quintessential like New Year's Eve, how's this year been? Look, like what are we hoping for next year posts? And some have been like, oh my god, this year's been amazing, and others are like, oh, I can't wait to see the back of this year, and things like that. And this year I'm like, it's been
meh. Yeah.
It hasn't, like, we've had thankfully, no horrendous lows. Like, there's been the odd, like, wibble of things, but, like, thankfully, no horrendous lows. It's not 2010. But...
What?
That was the year everyone died.
That's 2020.
No, that was COVID. Like, 2010 was the year that, I'm pretty sure, like, we lost a celebrity, like, every
No, wait, that was
days.
2010 because...
To be fair, it was also the year that my grandma
died.
died.
Was that not 2021? No. I swear it was only...
Well before then.
No, it wasn't.
2010 was also the year my grandma died.
I didn't know you then. And I was you. We were married the year that all the celebrities started dying.
Were we?
Yes. It wasn't that long ago. Anyway. Before we get morbid and talk about dead people.
This year has, like, there's been no... It's just kind of... This has been a filler year. Other than this, which I feel like is our achievement of the year, is starting the comics family and doing what we've done.
Well, hopefully people are enjoying the comics family. I hope they are. Again, thank you for joining us for our review of the year. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Don't forget to check out the quiz and see just how bad the boys are versus the girls.
And
or did they secretly get there at the end and win?
Feel free to play along at home and see if you can score better than we did.
It will not be as hard as you think.
No. It's things that some of it you either just knew or didn't know. Some were purely fluke guesses and just happened. Clearly the knowledge was like lurking somewhere in like the back of my brain, and my guess was right.
Yeah, don't forget to play along. Let us know what your score was in the comments. Please don't cheat.
Yeah, it's not so much fun if you cheat.
No. Obviously, we will still be reviewing the keys of the week, and you can check out our pool list to see just how much money we've burnt that week.
Yes.
Excuse me, my nose has decided it's going to get
pricey.
twitchy now.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Anyway, have a lovely new year. I hope that 2024 is brilliant for everybody.
Especially us.
Yes. And I'm looking forward to seeing what 2024 brings.
Hopefully a lottery win.
Potentially onwards and upwards. We will see where we go.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe.